This is my plate, and I'm gonna enjoy because they're still nice and hot. Hi everyone, welcome back to Belizeanvibez. Let's make some nice hot fish panades, okay? Alright, so in the boiling water, we're gonna add some chopped onions, add a pepper, piece of garlic, a little bit of oregano. Oops, that might have been a little too much, but some vinegar, just a little bit of vinegar. Stir it up a little bit, okay? And then we're gonna add the fish. So here we go. So we're adding the 4 pieces of king fish, and we're gonna let this boil. When it's done, we're gonna remove, and we're gonna shred it up and get ready for some panades. We're gonna hash it, what we call hash fish, and I'll show you that in a minute. So after 10 minutes of boiling, this is what the kingfish looks like. So remember, this is water, vinegar, onion, garlic, oregano, salt, and pepper. That's it. So I'm gonna be removing these in the next 2 minutes. Put it in a bowl to cool. Remove all the bones and skin, and with just the white meat, I'm gonna hash it, cut up some onions, and cook it in the frying pan to make the hash fish for the panades. So that's the kingfish steaks after we finish boiling them. I'm gonna let it cool down and start shredding it. I use 2 forks. Remove the bones. Kingfish doesn't have a lot of bones, so just remove the main bone and the small little fine bones you see there, and the skin. All right. Now we're getting ready to cut up our onions, cabbage, and pepper for the pepper sauce. Okay, so here I am starting to cut up. First, I'm gonna start with the cabbage. I'm gonna do the cabbage. I'm gonna do some onions. Add some vinegar and salt and water, and that should do it, okay? I'm using a small cabbage. Should be enough. And just use the amount of cabbage and onions that you feel is enough for you and your family. So that's the cabbage. And now we're going to cut up some onions. And we're going to cut these really fine. So first I'm cutting it lengthwise, and then I'm going to chop it up into small, fine pieces. Okay? And of course, you cannot leave out the habanero. So here we go. I'm going to add about, I'm going to cut the whole thing. I'm going to chop it up and decide how much I'm going to add. Okay, so yeah, I'll just chop 1 habanero pepper. There you go. So we have cabbage, onion, and habanero. I'm gonna chop it finer and add it to a bowl with vinegar, salt, and a little water. Okay, now that we have our cabbage, onions, as you can see here, cabbage, onions, and pepper, this is almost ready to go. I put aside some onions. This will be for the fish, okay? This one. I'm gonna put some aside to fry the fish. Okay, so I'm gonna cut up some habanero peppers, and I use a fork because sometimes the pepper is very, very hot. So pepper hot. And you decide how much pepper you want, okay? In this case, I'm using 1 habanero pepper, and I'm gonna mix more cabbage and onions for me. That's my preference. If you want more onions, just onions, you do it how you like. I like my sauce to be mixed with cabbage, onions, and habanero peppers. All right. Okay. Okay, so we have our cabbage, onions, and habanero peppers. I'm gonna add the onions. This is raw onions to a bowl like this. And the reason why I like to add some hot water first to scald the onions. I don't like the taste of just the raw sting of the onions, so I do that. And then I add a little bit of hot water, just like that, and I let it sit a little bit with a little bit of salt, and then I will add the vinegar. I'll let this sit for a minute, add some salt, okay, and then a little bit of vinegar, okay. I let that sit for a bit, let it seep, and then I'm gonna add the cabbage, and that's it for the sauce. I'm gonna add the cabbage and the rest of the habanero peppers, but I like to put a little hot water in my onions first. Okay, now that the onions and the vinegar and salt is all set, I add my habanero peppers and I add some finely chopped cabbage, and this is my sauce, my onion cabbage sauce for my panades. Okay, and that's what I do. So again, if you prefer just onions, you do that. If you like cabbage, onion, and habanero mix, then this is what you do. Okay, and I just stir it up like this. At this time, you can add more vinegar, and remember, you gotta add vinegar, water, half and half or so portion to taste, because you don't want it to be too watery and not too sour. That's it. You can put some additional salt to taste to your liking. For this, I would say about a teaspoon salt total. All right, and that's it. This is my cabbage onion sauce for my panades. All right. Okay, now so it's time to prep the fish. Remember, we boiled this earlier, so I'm gonna remove the skin and any dark meat. I don't like the dark part for flavor. Sometimes it's a little too fishy for me. So I'll go ahead and just clean this up like this, and then I'm gonna mince it up into smaller pieces and remove the bone, so you can see. See there? See there? This is just pure meat. So I'm gonna put it in a bowl like this. So, and I'm gonna do that for all these pieces. Remove this main piece of bone, remove the skin, and any the dark meat from the fish. So there you go. I'm gonna remove all the bones and all that stuff until the fish is clean, and then I'll break it up into smaller pieces. Okay, so my fish is all minced up really fine and ready, and like I say, whenever you find the bones, just make sure you take it out. So this is what it looks like, and I'm using my gloves because it's so much easier. I don't want my hands to be fishy right now. This habanero, I'm just gonna crush a piece in there, okay, and fry it up with the fish for flavor. Okay, oops, so I'm just gonna tear that up in there like that and add it for flavor. It's gonna be nice and spicy. This is our annatto. This is what it looks like. It's like a paste. Sometimes you could buy it like in a square block. I keep it in a bottle, and I took out some. I'm gonna add a little bit of warm water in it. Okay, so I have this all. This is the annatto recado, Belize recado seasoning. Okay, there you go. I'm just gonna add a little bit to the fish, and as I've mentioned, I'll use the rest. If you don't have that, you can I guess use paprika, I guess, but if you want the authentic fish panades flavor, then try to get some recado. You could probably get it at the Latin markets. All right, and then I have some of the dried powder. I'll add some of that also. I got this from Belize. It's the recado powder. All right, put a little bit of black pepper. Okay, a little bit of black pepper, a little bit of salt, and this is about ready to go in the frying pan. Okay, just a little bit of salt. Remember, we did boil the fish with salt and seasoning. So, all right. So now that I have this all mixed up, we're gonna get ready to fry this. And again, use the fish for your liking. I like to use fresh fish. I don't like to use the canned fish or tuna or any of that. I like to get a fresh piece of fish and fry it up. And again, as you can see, just keep removing any pieces of bone. Not much, but if you have a few, make sure you remove it. Okay. All right, our fish is ready to fry, but now we're gonna work on the masa. So now we already have our onions, our cabbage cut up, we have our fish ready. I buy this here in LA, and this is fresh masa, just like what you get in Belize. It's like the dough. So if you're using fresh masa or you're using the maseca, which is the powder, you know, that you have to mix with water, it's gonna come to a dough just like this, okay? So what you do, you want to soften it up a little bit. This is actually still warm. I bought it from the market about an hour or so ago, and it's still warm. And then what I'm gonna do, again, I'm gonna add some salt, okay? Not much. I'm using sea salt, okay? About a little bit of salt in this. You don't want it too salty. Remember, the fish has seasoning. Some salt, and I'll put some of the recado that I mentioned earlier, which is the annatto paste. Mix it up in a little water like this, okay? And I just add it to the masa. And this is what you do. Otherwise, when you make your panades gonna look cabbage color. You want it a little reddish. And then you just work your dough like this until the seasoning is all blended in, and your dough look a little, you'll see a little color, you know, a little reddish color. You don't want too much now, because the recado sometimes it could be the taste too strong. So you just want to put a little bit. I would say I did about less than a teaspoon of annatto, and I mix it up. So see, so go ahead and mix this to form a dough. Okay, so here it is. This is what it looks like. So we're gonna roll this up into some round balls to get ready for the panades, and I'll show you. So you just take a piece of dough and you kind of ball it up like this, okay? Depending on the size of panades you want, okay? This is pretty good. This is the size of my hand, okay? So this is it, okay? I guess the size of an egg, a little smaller than an egg. So we're gonna roll this up, and then we're gonna start doing our fish and get the panades going. So here's the fish. We have the cabbage over there. Okay, we have the masa gonna be ready. We have some coconut oil that we're gonna fry the fish with some onions and some black pepper, salt, and oregano. All right. Okay. So I'm almost done rolling up all the masa dough. Okay. So like I mentioned before, you roll them up this way. Okay. We're almost done. And this is approximately, I would say, about almost 2 pounds of masa that I'm using. Okay, we're gonna start frying the fish. We put about a little more than a tablespoon coconut oil. Okay, so we put the coconut oil, let it heat up. Gonna saute some onions, and we're gonna add the fish with a little black pepper, salt, and oregano. Okay, because the fish already seasoned when it was boiling, and I put some annatto, which is recado, Belize recado. So here we have some chopped onions. Okay, stir this up. Stir this up a little bit. Now we're gonna add the fish. Okay, so once your pot is nice and hot, let's add the fish. So this is the fish that we previously boiled, and we mashed it up with some seasoning. Fry this up. Somehow it looks light on the picture, but it's actually, okay, you can see the true color here. I had to change the filter on the phone. So here you go. So this I'm gonna fry up with the onions and the pepper that we mashed. Remember we put the habanero. Now we're gonna add some black pepper, a little bit of black pepper. Okay, a little dash of oregano. That's oregano, dried oregano flakes, just a little bit I have left, so put a little bit. And just continue to stir this around lightly. And this is it. This is, because remember the fish already, you already cooked the fish, and I already mashed up the annatto paste in it, so we'll fry this up. And this is it. So I lower the stove, this is almost done. This takes about 5 minutes, because as I mentioned, the fish is already cooked. So in here you have black pepper, salt, some dried oregano, and recado seasoning, which is the recado paste that I created a little, diluted it with some water and added to the fish with a piece of habanero. I'm frying this with coconut oil and onion, chopped onions, and my goodness, if you could smell this. It smells delicious. My mom would eat this with some corn tortilla. She'll be like, give me some with corn tortilla. So this is it, guys. So this is the fish for your panades. Okay? Okay, so we're ready. So we have, this is almost 2 pounds of masa. Okay? Almost 2 pounds of masa that I season up with salt and some of the Belize red recado, which some people know as annatto paste. And then this is the fish. This is king fish that I boil and I shred it up, hash it, fry it with coconut oil, onions, black pepper, salt, oregano, and I crush some habanero peppers in this. And then well, I told you I like my sauce with just cabbage, more cabbage than onions. That's this one. But guess what, I made some for you. I made some with onions, so that's how the onion sauce look. Onion with habanero, vinegar, salt, and some water to dilute the vinegar. So it's like 3/4 vinegar to 1/4 water. And then this is more cabbage than onions. That's how I like it. We have our panades, a masher that I'm gonna use. Put the dough in here, mash it, and then we put it here. Okay, so we're gonna start making some panades. I use a Ziploc bag. I cut both sides. I put it into the masher like this. I take one of the masa dough ball that I made, and this is made with fresh masa. If you're using the maseca, which is the powder, same method, okay? So you put it like this, okay? And then you're gonna mash it, okay? And then you're gonna fill it with the fish. So you could make these whatever size you want, and I like to load it up with fish, so put as much. You don't want to force it with too much fish and then it breaks open, okay? So this is it. Okay, fold over your mash, I mentioned. I think this one fully loaded, but you get the idea. So this is it. Okay, and this is it. That's panades. All right, so we got 20 panades out of approximately 2 pounds of masa, and I think about little more than a pound of kingfish, you know, that I hash, just a little bit left. And we have this ready to go. We have our frying pan hot, ready to go. So let's fry some panades and enjoy. I hope you get to make some panades with your family, guys. Log on to Belizeanvibez on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Remember Belizeanvibez.com. The website is there also. So thanks so much. Like, share, subscribe. We got panades. Okay, we're gonna start frying panades. These are fish panades. Okay. Made with king fish and fresh masa for the dough. It's a corn dough, so it's fresh masa. And here you go, look how lovely. And then always have something to drain the panades on the side. I have one of these metal pans and some paper towel, because you want to drain the oil really good before you enjoy them. Okay, so these you fry, let's see, on one side for approximately, I'm looking at the clock, 30 seconds on one side. Turn them over. Okay, and it's so delicious if you could get the fresh masa. If you can't, you use the pack. I think it's called like Maseca, Masa Arena. There's different brands at the store. You can't find it at the supermarket, check the Latin markets, okay? And follow the instruction. It's like a corn flour that you mix with water, and you could season it up the same way. Add a little salt and some of the recado. And yeah, I know some states it's hard to get the fresh masa. So we're lucky here in LA, we have access to it. They make it fresh every day, you know, certain markets. So look at this. So I'm frying now for a little less than a minute. Okay, about a minute now. You want to fry on each side, make sure it's nice and crisp, okay? And this is panades, guys. This is a Belizean favorite. This is a Belizean specialty. This is something that we grew up with. And whenever I feel like eating it, I make it, because I can't find panades that taste like my mom's. So I learned to make it. My sister Maggie, she do the same. We make our own panades because we like to make it with fish. You know, like I said, if you have cod, kingfish, snapper fillet, whatever you could find that you enjoy, just season it, boil it like I showed you, hash it, and you're gonna get some really, really authentic Belizean panades. Okay, I'm getting there. So continue to fry. I hope you get to make some panades for your family. Enjoy. You could make beans too. My favorite is fish, but you could make beans and fish. For the fish, you put the recado in the masa. For the beans, you leave the masa plain. Just put some salt, little water, and make your masa dough. Just for the fish, you add the recado seasoning, okay? It's just for the red one. And like I said, season up your fish of your choice. And if you ever try doing it with some, you know, fresh fish instead of the canned tuna or canned salmon, it makes a difference. The panades is so much more delicious. Well, that's what I think. So, and I fry these for approximately, I'm trying to time it for you guys, approximately 3 to 4 minutes, guys. And like I said, depending on how hot your oil is. Here we go. So continue to log on to Belizeanvibez, okay? Check out the YouTube videos. I have more videos on there. I have Creole bread, Creole bun. I have the Johnny cake. I have powder bun. Check out the Dukunu video. Alrighty. I hope you get to enjoy some panades, and we'll link up soon because I plan to do another hot cross bun video for you guys. So continue to tune in to Belizeanvibez Live on YouTube. Thank you so much for the continued support. I'm going to show you the finished product when all these are done, okay? Let me finish frying. Okay, the final product. Here it is. All 20. So this is the last of it, okay? 20 total. 20 Belizean panades. Guys, I know I'm gonna enjoy them nice and hot. Thanks again for tuning in, okay? Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm gonna put some onion sauce on these babies and show it off to you. Okay, let me take these out. So here it is, 20 Belizean panades made with fresh masa, fish, king fish that we boil. We hash it with coconut oil and onion. We made some onion sauce with habanero, cabbage and onion, because this is my favorite. More cabbage than onion with habanero sauce. And I put some vinegar and salt in there and water. More vinegar than water, okay? To make it like a pickled cabbage and onion. And this one is onion with habanero. And here you go. Fully loaded Belizean panades. Tune into Belizeanvibez on YouTube. Share it with your friends, your family. Like it. Okay, share, subscribe. Thanks again. Look out for the hot cross bun video and check out the other videos on my channel, Belizeanvibez Live. Thank you. Let me go eat my hot panades before they get cool. Bye guys. Thank you again. Fully loaded. These are some fully loaded panades. A lot of fish. Lots and lots of fish. And delicious. That's what it looks like inside. Hot panades. This is the finished product. You could have it with cabbage and onion pickled. This is my favorite. I chop up cabbage and onion. This is onion with habanero. Have a choice, whichever one you like. Enjoy. Thank you. And bye. Let me go eat my hot panades. I'm going for true now. Seriously.